Gaming certainly isn't a cheap hobby unless you're prepared to get dirty while scratching at the bottom of the bargain bin, but fortunately, there are plenty of games that'll appeal to anyone who has to juggle a tight budget. The current landscape of video games is overflowing with free-to-play titles, gaming experiences that offer a sizable portion of content while tempting you to drop some cash on extra content such as season passes or some dazzling armor in the online store. But if you manage to avoid the spending temptations, there's still a lot of fun to be had. So here's our list of the best free PC games to play in 2022. Apex Legends. Apex Legends continues to be one of the most fun hero shooters out there. The game dials up the appeal with familiar action that was honed to near perfection in Respawn's Titanfall series, and mixes it up with an eclectic cast of characters. The brilliance of Apex Legends lies in just how easy it is to jump into, while also offering a ton of strategic opportunities for seasoned players. Player interaction is beautifully simple thanks to the ping system, and the game looks like a stunner. And Respawn's focus on providing quality over quantity updates has made this title feel like a true evolution of the ideas that its predecessors introduced to the market. Call of Duty Warzone 2. 2 years after Call of Duty Warzone heralded the dominating franchise's step into the Battle Royale genre, its sequel gives us new modes and a new map. Where the original Warzone felt like a greatest hits compilation of past Call of Duty games, Warzone 2 takes those ideas and refines them, as well as gives you a new DMZ mode, a loot and extract sandbox mode, which has you fight hordes of NPCs and attempt to infiltrate strongholds with teammates. However, since Warzone 2 is new, there's still some refining to be done, with connection issues still a problem for some. However, if you're willing to overlook its current rough edges, Warzone 2 promises to be a fun time. Multiversus. It was about time that someone tried to take on the undisputed king that is Super Smash Bros. And while Multiversus doesn't surpass it, it certainly gives it a run for its money. Mostly because it doesn't cost you any. Multiversus manages to be a clever spin on Smash Bros., clearly taking from that game, but having just enough unique mechanics to feel its own. Not only that, but its stable of characters is almost as unique as Smash Bros. So if you ever wanted to see Arya Stark take on Velma, because let's face it, who hasn't, then you are in luck. It may be a little eerie when you have real-life people like LeBron James take on the Iron Giant, but it's still fun through and through, and the attention to detail in the world designs and character voiceover is a treat that even Smash Bros. Doesn't fully capitalize on. Marvel Snap. While some may look at Marvel Snap and be forgiven for thinking it's a quick cash grab with the Marvel license, you'd be missing out on one of the most compelling card games out there right now. Each round has you managing your energy to play cards with high power levels and abilities, offering a large diversity of options and ways to win. It's also a rather quick game, meaning you'll easily find yourself playing several rounds without realizing where the time is gone. And almost like it was snapped away by Thanos. Sorry, had to do it. Even without the Marvel paint on it though, it's a truly refined experience, and one that you can play without having to dip into paying to win. Add in your favorite superheroes and villains to the mix, and you've got yourself a classic. Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 made the controversial decision to take the series free-to-play, and that certainly has come with its caveats. The monetization and grind in the game is definitely noticeable, especially compared to the original game, yet if you can overlook or ignore these elements, the base of what makes Overwatch great is still here. All of your favorite and new heroes are included, and this team-based shooter still feels slick and refined to play. Every character feels unique in how to play them, and they also still have an amazing personality behind each one. While certainly Overwatch 2 didn't reinvent the wheel, and its cynical corporate underpinnings are noticeable, it still doesn't take away from the excellent experience that's there. Bleakshore. Let's take a quick break from the multiplayer free-to-play games and highlight a more disturbing and unique single-player experience. Bleakshore is a PS1 graphic-style indie horror game that uses the low-poly models and look to creepy effect. In the game, you find yourself looking for a woman named Orla on a mysterious coastline. As you explore the strange landscape around you, you'll find yourself drawn into the disturbing atmosphere and environments of the game. And that's even after you get over the PlayStation 1 graphics. And all that's not even to mention its psychological and deep writing that you should definitely check out, especially given that it's free on itch right now. CSGO. One of the oldest entries on this list, CSGO has shown no signs of slowing down, even in the face of rising competition in the esports scene. A classic showcase of high-speed action and precision, CSGO still remains relevant on the global stage and regularly draws astonishing viewing numbers whenever a big tournament begins. A major influence on esports in general, CSGO's perfectly calibrated competitiveness makes it ideal for both casual and professional gamers, a benchmark that few games have been capable of reaching over the years. Dauntless. It's easy to take a look at Dauntless as a Monster Hunter clone wearing Fortnite armor, but beneath the obvious comparison, there's a surprisingly fun game with a compelling grinding loop. Like its primary inspiration, Dauntless is focused on throwing you at all manner of nasty beasts, with battle providing a rewarding sense of progression and fashionable gear. Every creature is uniquely fun to battle, and the game has plenty of personality, and the enjoyable combat makes it easy to fall in love with this adventure. Destiny 2. Originally a premium product that commanded a high price, Bungie's decision to move Destiny 2 towards a live service format has been a monumental success for the Cosmic Sandbox. While each new expansion does have a price tag and the drier months are kept active with Season Pass content, the free package available to players is a meaty collection of storylines and multiplayer action. Currently, Destiny 2's new light version gives players access to every available planet, PvP multiplayer, Gambit, and Strike activities. That right there is a stacked collection of content to dive into, which shines under Bungie's superb attention for detail, action-packed gunplay, and an improved sense of storytelling that each season has introduced to the game. Dota 2. The gold standard for longevity in esports, Dota 2's annual dominance of the scene is an unbeatable standard that every game aspires to. Dota 2's legacy as gaming's most popular multiplayer arena game isn't just secure, it's practically immortal. What's truly remarkable is that Dota began its life as a Warcraft 3 mod and then morphed into a title that gave rise to a new genre in gaming. An undying slice of excellence, Dota 2 is a highly rewarding multiplayer experience that is bolstered by years of polish, tweaks, and expansive content. Fortnite. Easily the biggest name in video games today, Fortnite has become a global pop culture phenomenon with its film and music crossovers, game-shaking events, and lucrative gameplay mechanics that many other freemium titles have emulated over the years. Beneath all that though, there's still an unbelievably solid game built around the idea of survival, scavenging, and instantly building a two-story condominium whenever someone fires a few rounds in your general direction. A one-of-the-kind masterpiece that has defined the gaming industry since it became a global success story, Fortnite offers value and plenty of entertainment without demanding a single cent in return. Genshin Impact. When it was first revealed, most people looked at Genshin Impact and regarded it as a cheap Breath of the Wild clone. While it's undoubtedly influenced by one of the best Nintendo Switch games, developer miHoYo's gorgeous open-world RPG has established itself as one of the biggest surprises in the free-to-play gaming market. Lush and epic in scale, Genshin Impact mixes the thrill of discovery with the compelling collect-em-all obsession of gacha games to create a surprisingly generous package. Genshin Impact has only become better since it launched in 2021. Guild Wars 2. It's been almost a decade since Guild Wars 2 arrived, and in the years since it has gained something more important than just a polished gameplay experience or a regular infusion of new content, a sizable and dedicated audience. Communities are the lifeblood of free-to-play games, and Guild Wars 2, which wasn't always a free-to-play game, has servers filled with thousands of players at any given moment. That makes for a game that lives up to its MMORPG title, and with gameplay that feels within the core experience, it's no wonder that fans are still invested in this title. GWENT. GWENT was a fun diversion in The Witcher 3, but as a fully fledged spin-off that has evolved over the years, the current product is one of the best games built around collecting cards, building strategies, and seeing how far they'll go in actual competition. Easy to learn and hard to master, GWENT's popularity boils down to a number of factors. Every card looks like it was produced during a forgotten magical era of the Renaissance, and it's generous with all the free cards that it hands out. The various arenas to play in will also keep you hooked for hours. While CD Projekt Red announced that they'll be ending support for the game in late 2023, it's still well worth a look. With the Netflix TV show, its spin-off, The Witcher 3 Next Gen update, and a remake of the original game with a sequel on the way, there's no better time to dive deeper into the world of our favorite fantasy creature-killing himbo. Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft. While Marvel Snap has given it stiff competition, Blizzard's Warcraft spin-off is still a well-engineered card game with compelling tabletop tactics. Hearthstone is a constantly evolving showcase of ingenuity. It also helps that it looks like $1 million, with each card unleashing dazzling special effects on a living board that could only have been designed in a Blizzard lab. Years later, Hearthstone and its massive library of cards still remains the pinnacle of the genre and a major influence on the world around it. League of Legends. Every king has a rival, and for years now, Dota 2's position as one of the biggest giants in the MOBA landscape has been threatened by League of Legends. While the Riot Games developed title hasn't committed any regicide just yet, it has come close to usurping Dota 2's throne, and in recent years, its pop culture footprint has begun to eclipse its main competition. Outside of that slugging match though, League of Legends is still a titan that provides excellent entertainment to the beat of its own drum, as well as some of the finest esports competition on the planet. Plus, if you do get drawn into its world, you can also dive into the excellent series Arcane on Netflix. Path of Exile. Even with a sequel on the horizon, Grinding Gear Games' original stab at old-school RPG adventuring still stands as a brilliant and compelling game of isometric dungeon crawling. While it had no shortage of bugs when it first arrived, Path of Exile in its current state is a more mature and focused venture into dark fantasy. Though it still has some lingering issues, its content has been a thrill and expansions have grown its free-to-play world substantially. Planetside 2. Planetside 2 has always felt different to other games on the market, due to its colder nature, more obscured systems, and brutal opinion on how fragile each player should be when they spawn into an area. But look past these factors and you'll find a game that has been beloved by its audience since 2012 for providing unique gameplay moments within its world. It's still one of the only PvP shooters with 3 factions fighting at once. Fresh content such as Chimera and Javelin updates have kept players engaged, and when you first hop in, it won't be uncommon to see hundreds of people going to war against each other. Smite. How do you create a distinct identity in a genre that has no shortage of competitors vying for control of audiences' eyeballs? By creating a MOBA game that's all about seeing which fictional deities can rise to the top of the scrap heap. Smite doesn't stray too far away from the formula pioneered by games such as Dota 2 and League of Legends, but it still stands tall with its constant updates and attention-grabbing character collaborations. Team Fortress 2. 14 years after it was first released, Team Fortress 2 functions like an old pair of sweatpants in the gaming landscape. Faded when compared to its glory days, but undeniably comfortable to slip into when you're in the mood for an uncomplicated session of team deathmatch. Thousands of players still play the game regularly, and even though it may have a persistent problem with spam-toting bots on its servers, Valve's wacky FPS is still a certified classic that's freely available whenever you're in the mood for old-fashioned fun. Or, looking for your sweatpants. Rocket League. Rocket League is motorized chaos incarnate. This soccer-style arcade game is still one of the most fluid and hectic games to play out there. And no matter your skill level, you're bound to have a hugely fun time shooting around the arena with your vehicle, trying to knock a giant soccer ball into an enemy's goal. Not only that, the game still receives fantastic support, including its recently announced Lo-Fi Girl DLC. So hop into some of its chill beats. Yo. Okay, yeah, I've regretted that as soon as I said it. Valorant. There's a lot of stiff competition in the character-based FPS space, but Valorant still manages to stand out from the pack. Riot Games series takes inspiration from Counter-Strike with its tactical-based gameplay, but manages to make it its own by layering in unique hero shooter mechanics to the world. If you love tactical shooters but want the fun vibe of Apex Legends or Overwatch, then Valorant is perfect for you. Warframe. It may look like Destiny if David Cronenberg designed it, but Warframe is still one of the best free games on the market today. A unique blend of action, exploration, and meat grinder enemy encounters, developer Digital Extremes has constantly evolved the world of Warframe while adding content that fans have asked for, creating a lean and meaningful experience in the process. It has starships and glorious gear to equip, chunky weapons, and lethal blades to collect while interacting with a dedicated community of fans. It should be stated that Warframe is a bit overwhelming at the start, but if you stick with it, you'll find a highly satisfying loop. And those are our picks for the best games to play on PC if your wallet is feeling a bit light after buying gifts this year. Yet, if you're feeling like a bit more expensive options are on the table, don't forget to subscribe to GameSpot to see some of our other best of lists as we wrap out 2022.